right, so today is June 30th, 2021, and we're here with Mark and T, and we're talking about collaborations for the future of everything. SoulSpark Game and Alva and everyone else's individual and collective visions and desires in direction. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, yep. So that's great. I would love to, if you guys just can make a little introduction about the Great Work Alliance so that Tifero can hear it as well from you guys.
Okay, awesome. So Great Works Alliance is all about inspiring and empowering the hero within everyone through fun gamification and opportunities, quests, missions, and connections to inspire and spark soul sparks. Soul sparks being like your personal values, passions, skills, and desire to engage with others. We provide framework and infrastructure build out models. We like to be able to tailor them to the specific organization or city or whatever, but it's all about that engagement and providing a space for positive engagement and collaborative efforts for a better world and improve quality of life for all.
Okay.
Yay, thank you.
Was that a good one? Awesome.
Yeah, totally. Just to get like everybody on page of, so it's all good. So okay. I've been looking, I think Nate was telling me to look at chapter 13. And I was just wondering if we can like maybe do even like a screen share and we go through some of this collaboration contract thing that you guys suggested. I looked at it, but I think the best way to do that is if we look at it and we talk about it at the same time so that we can just take the decisions right on spot, if it makes sense.
Agreed. Lyra's getting the laptop set up. It should be right.
Because I read it and then like, oh, I have a question here, and then like I read a little bit more and okay, I have here a question. Then it's like, if we just do it right now like that, I think that's a more efficient way.
I agree.
Yeah.
So have you read through this master agreement?
Yeah, I did. Has agreed to vision. It said here based upon mutual agreements.
So maybe we should make a copy of the document and work on that copy.
I'm going to right now.
Okay.
Tifera, that I would love for you also to take a look deeper in it. Maybe I don't know if I sent you that specific one.
When did you? When you just? I'm trying to see when. I think you did send me that link.
I think I sent you that. Yeah, that link, and then to just go to chapter 13. I think, yeah, whenever you're on the computer, in case you're not now.
Cool.
But
Okay, so I'm right now making a copy for us to walk through with you. And it's dated for today.
Okay. Yeah, like I would really appreciate it if Nate or whoever wants to summarize a little bit of how that would look like. Like I know it's written here, but I would just appreciate if you would just express that in words a little bit, because I don't want to read now the whole agreement.
I know it's a lot of words. What it is about is our collaborations and how each of us is coming together with our individual perspectives, talents, and art and visions, and then we're coming together in agreement that these are the pieces we want to share with each other and work together collaboratively in going forward on these specific platforms, events, whatever you guys want to specifically focus on with us. We're providing services that fit your needs for the most part, as far as looking at it from like who we are. We're providing infrastructure, framework, and game design development.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Because
like between different organizations and different philosophies and team building and community building. So I mean, there's a lot of I could continue on.
yeah. So how is this now, for example, like tying in with Awaken Dream synergy? Like, because for me, I'm just trying to understand it fully so that I can paint the picture in my head, right? So that I have the full understanding, because I believe when I have the full understanding with that, and a lot more other people have it too. And so what is the synergy in specific with Awaken Dream synergy?
Spirit of intent, collaboration, stuff like that.
So is this just like kind of like a document where I and you, Nate, like we hang out and we're like, oh dude, you are on the same vision that I am, like we definitely have to collaborate and work together, and then that would be the document that we send to the people to just have like the documentation ready and getting more clear on which specific points we collaborate? Is that what it is?
What we've designed it with a target for what's to be used in the open collaboration stack.
I guess my
The
main concern would be the one of the pages I saw like real quickly when you guys were flashing through it was it's pretty, to me it looks like a contract. You guys are having people sign into a contract, but that contract, there's something there that kind of catches my attention, which is in kind payment of payments. Like, so that needs to be a different contract, and that needs to be something kind of like, I think that's what Mark's kind of getting to at as asking as well. Is this a contract where you're saying we have to pay for these, or kind of in a nutshell?
By no means is it that kind of a contract, and it can be shaped and molded to what our agreement of collaboration is and how the level of reciprocity will be mirrored between the organizations.
So it's more of
If there is some kind of a profit to be made off of our collaborative efforts, then we need to talk about that. We need to talk about what kind of a payment structure would be possible, would be agreeable for everyone, because there's that to factor in.
Got it. Okay, so Mark, let me kind of explain to you, and correct me if I'm wrong on the understanding of this. So what that is pretty much, it's a release form that everybody's gonna sign saying, hey, end up using this in a video, or if we end up using this in a bigger project, you guys are okay with us using the information we gathered or that was put together with your company or with your group. They're signing up pretty much like a release. Is that right?
attribute credit to whoever the original content creator is, and hopefully stack that up with additional contributors. Anybody else joins in that area, like, hey, let's support them. This basically starts out at the golden rule forward with first principles, like the character traits listed in positive psychology, for example. That's what we built off of. Then out in the contract, it splits out into multiple options, whether like you want to contract for services. How do you want to split that contract for services? The ballast or the anchor that we're trying to spearhead is let's see how many different ways we can get that reciprocity going in multiple directions? Can we do it in more than just a bias of one direction with a minimized amount on the other side? Or can we expand that out into as close to 50-50 between two parties, or a 30-30-30 between three parties based on their choices?
Okay, got it. So
Connect them. And another route that this diverges out into is volunteers, unpaid volunteers.
okay, that is a very large kind of contract that we're talking about, and that's going to be kind of a very, very well in-depth contract. And from my understanding, from what like we're trying to get here or we're trying to do, my suggestion, like I said, from the business point of view of it and the law point of view of it, is to break it down to like different contracts, because it might not even be a contract, it might be an agreement, but you're going to separate them all. So you're going to have this type of contract or this type of document for the volunteers. That's what they're going to sign off on. And this type of contract, which we're going to be talking about the money breakdown of it or the payment or any forms of profit we make, this is going to be it. And then you're going to have a partnership contract that you're going to give to somebody like Mark, to his entity. So you kind of want to break it down to different ones, because the longer a chapter is or the longer the contract is, with so many different things that it covers, it kind of puts you guys out there on being open to a lot of different things. And you don't want that. You want each and every documentation and each and every person kind of just like, or group within that realm. Because if you open it up to your whole entire company realm, at the same token, you're opening it up to that whole entire responsibility, and you're responsible for this and liable for this and liable for that. You want to keep it straight to the point, serious, one-shot deal per person or per group that you're dealing with. Let it be all different. Don't let it be all the same, encompassed together. That's my personal suggestion. I'm gonna go on mute now so you guys can talk. Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
We love
we've been
that kind of.
exploring all the different options and wanted to hone in a consolidated form where it could split wherever you are in the contract. We can do it both ways. There's no issue with that. And we've been asking for as many people proficient in legalese to be taking a look at it in order to optimize it. Like what works best on the bulletproof stance for both parties as we can all locate that everybody can run with.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
You're welcome. When I get a chance, I'll actually look it over more in depth. Right now, I just have my plate a little full. Mark knows. But as soon as I do, or maybe Saturday, Mark, when I go see you, when we go do that thing on Saturday, I'll drive up there with my friend, and then so I can give you a better idea. But that's definitely my biggest suggestion, just from in a nutshell of what you broke down to me now.
Okay.
We break it down to different.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that feedback and your time. I'm just because the situation right now is like, for me personally, like this, like there is this global vision happening and like this movement, and it's all gaining on momentum. People come together and it's all happening, so it's all good and positive and all good. At the same time, that is also beautiful. Me personally, for me to be more safe in this country, I need to work on my stuff with the corporation that I have, or to find a way through, even like, because you guys were saying this company is a for-profit.
No.
Non-profit, where we've also designed it towards being able to be mirrored on either side.
Do you have? But are you set up with the IRS as a nonprofit 501c?
We are set up in the state of Wyoming.
Okay.
As a nonprofit, but
okay,
we have
501c. Do you guys have that with the IRS as well, or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
We do have protection with other organizations that we are collaborating with, so we're under an umbrella. But yeah, personally, we do not have our own 501(c) stats at this time.
I think I know what you're referring to when you asked him that. Is that right? Am I on the right page with that one, Mark?
I'm sorry?
No, Mark.
Say it again.
Are we on why my idea of why you're asking for that? Is that why?
Yeah, to just like whatever we can do to benefit the cause for the immigration paperwork, you know, it's like either should be
That-
like do the alternative earth you know, nonprofit part with Nick. Are we doing it also with Great Work Alliance? Should I bring somebody else in? Like
No, you,
support.
since they do have it under Wyoming, so they are considered a nonprofit. So you have now somebody in Wyoming, that you do. Yeah. Now pick somebody in Texas or something far on that side of the United States, and we will be perfect. You will be a dime. Like it will be packaged together, because then you have 3 different nonprofit states that you're working with that saying that they need you. So it will actually go through the expedition paperwork so much faster with the cost of it, but it will go through the 15 days, and that's going to be our target date. And I just need to wait on a phone call or do the research on the other end I was talking to you about.
Right.
But no, to put in this application ASAP.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Because why I'm sharing all that, Nate and Lyra, is because me personally, as I said, because we share the same vision, and a lot of parts that you guys have here are also into, you know, with Light Body Love, and like because we put the whole thing into an application with communities and with gamified, it's like the overall same thing, right? So it's like in, you know, so in which parts it's like, you know, it plugs in, and like having that in some way or the other in the like documented, maybe with the documentations you guys have already and what I have, and then we put that together into a bigger plan, and then we send it to the immigration stuff.
Oh,
Like I'm just trying to figure out, and for me to put fully focus into support, because I can support the like this movement, I feel, and I'm pretty confident with that the people that I am attracting, that organically are coming towards my way, we will be like bringing this very much globally, and we attract a lot of abundance together. And
I was going to say the other document to look over is the collective foundational document. We have one of those that we've developed with Zeke and his organization, Coherent Loving Beings. And that is more along the lines of that collaboration agreement and not being so like structured into a contract format.
There's
so that
also
might be the other
maps that I just added. If you open that last link, that'll give a procedural concept that you can run with. Now for like how teams operate in a very simple and open way, contractors, affiliates, partners, stuff like that. That might be a little bit easier to go ahead and go check, yes, no on how we want to proceed or overall concept.
This is all about it's a whole folder. So if you look through this folder, there are multiple mind maps that have been created showing the different ways that we have used for people to look at. So like if you're a player, there's a player entry level map. And then if you're talking about teams or organizations, there's a different layout set up for that. It just depends on what type of a player you're choosing to be, like what type of a collaborator. We use the word player because we're all about gamifying reality. So
no, that's I love that language.
Your previews are off. You don't get to see the thumbnails.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
What's your email address? I can add you directly here.
Okay. So gamified way of how people collaborate and exchanging
yes,
energy.
Yes.
And that part, I would love to plug it into the application that we do with either way, Light by Love. I just don't want that we create that game 3 times, right? It's like you do it just one time in one app and one platform, right? And then you bring all the people there. So I'm just trying to understand, like, even technologically, how that would look like. Is it like, okay, Light Party Love has its own app, and then you guys have
Right.
your own app, and then it works together, but then it's again 2 apps, and then I'm like, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the way, where an ecosystem of different apps are working together. But I don't know.
Creating an independent ecosystem. Yeah, we've been this was formulated based off of targeting a game engine as a base framework for the different types of rule sets that they already work with. What is more root level to supersede, like to infiltrate those systems and ecosystems?
Yeah. Tifera, do you understand where I see no, I don't want to say issue, because I know there is a solution and clarity for everything, but the way of collaborating right now during this time with different projects that people receive, because it's a collective information that is in the ether, and when we do our work, we tune into that, right? We receive the data, and then we give it a different name, right? Because we feel like we are a creator, and then we give it a different name, and then we put it together, and then so
it gets confusing because we want to cross correlate it. Like, how does this pair up, right?
Yeah. So it's like I believe as soon as not all the leaders who have been creating a name like that come together and decide for one name, it's not going. It's just, and then having all the other names that are so blessed and also honored, and the same, it's equal, it's the same thing. It's just like the same thing of like, we're all leaders and we're all on a boat, but somebody has all that thing to navigate left or right. I don't even know what it's called. It's the stuff on a boat. Where you navigate. And there cannot be 100 people have navigated to the right. 100 people agreeing upon it, but one person is doing right and left. Is the same thing with the name. One collective name and brand has a much powerful impact globally, because we think we are so many people believing the same thing, but if we look for a population of how many people are on this planet and how many people know what we know and what we talk about right now, it's less than 1%. So that's why I'm saying, like, we just have the 1%, or the 1% needs to, that's just where I'm at. But I'm so open to get another perspective after I shut up, to have it different. But that's how I see it. As soon as we're not agreeing upon one name, and we do there like a one shop app type thing, a one ecosystem app. And when I talk about app, I talk about platform, right? Like I talk about platform that comes with like the whole thing. So that's why it's interesting, because I talk to seriously like more people as us, but not too many, who do have the same vision and are working on it and are far and got a little bit of funding, but not enough. So there is nothing that really came to the surface yet of like, oh, that's the new thing, that's the new Facebook, right? And it feels like everybody wants to be the new Facebook, and that's okay, right? It's a wave that we are riding, as I just said, but like, that's just where I'm at, and I'm fully open to hear another way of doing it.
Okay, would you be willing to go to the chat and open up the last link that is in that chat? That is a collective foundational agreement that was created between us and Zeke, and I believe we also have Ingermeta on this collective foundational agreements. This is more akin to what T was talking about as far as putting collaborative agreement together. And, it has just the core principles and types of currencies we're talking about, the input calculations, and how we each are remaining autonomous with our investment, whether it's financial or spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Design. Okay. Provide good service to collaborate. Design and develop software, hardware, games, account, location, environment. Good purpose, development.
I don't remember, Mark. Have you seen the Soul Spark Miro board yet?
No, let's look at it right now. Just give me a little bit longer. Just
Oh, that's fine.
Still going through this document. Don't confuse him. Overload him.
no, I know it's like a lot of information data, but I'm think I'm onto something. Okay. Yeah. Just show me the other thing as well, and then
You got that link, Nate?
No, you'll have to share the Miro board from your end.
Okay.
The previous mind map that you were just looking at with the white background, that one was created over a year ago. I think maybe close to 2 years now, prior to us working on the cross correlation between sectors of society. So we were going with a more of a generic stance based off of the research and like business procedures and nonprofits and for-profits and stuff like that. And so like here at the game entry, we could splice in those different types of sectors of society to help break out. This one is pretty much focused on player profile, like just initiating a profile and what might start.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be like one option set off to the side, and they could enter through like a multi-door setup or icon for the 17 SDGs or different types of sectors of society. The, what is it, 11 or 12 sectors for Barbara Marx Hubbard's Wheel of Co-Creation? Or I think it's about 6 sectors that we have consolidated looking at the nation and states interpretation.
How many? 6?
Yeah, I think it's a 6 level that we've got. It's either 6 or 7. So the idea is like everybody tends to conflict at some point, right? So if we can look at things through multiple lenses and just hand them that stack according to their indicated preferences as they build out, so things grow kind of like their own personalized map in the way that they think and their interests.
Right.
It all is tied back to the common database that your app or Avin's app or XYZ wants to have, and it can still be themed and everything like that, like a white label. Taking a bunch of chunks and use them modularly as they adapt.
Okay.
So if you're looking in the thought process of like app design, if you have I forgot what it's called. It's kind of like an app server where it's all built off of functions and you cherry pick the functions that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then try to build it out as common assemblies, like what is most commonly used or the most common things that are repeated between organizations, like an organizational structure or a team structure, business processes, stuff like that. What are the most common methods of learning in education or types of entertainment?
Okay.
So kind of like categorical templates.
Yep. Yeah. Understood.
So we've been going towards the direction of generic naming structures based on like semantic, then like what's the optimal resource for it? Are you going to a slang dictionary versus an Oxford dictionary or Webster's dictionary or something like that? And tying them together as like a spectrum.
Okay, I see.
So like for teams, for example, if you're all using the same teaming structure, everybody could reference it that doesn't know all the different special language to interpret what that's supposed to mean. So, okay, here's team A, team B, team C, or 1, 2, 3, right? And then they can have rotating namespaces. So they all mean the same thing, but they could be flavored in the context that the team or group is in the mindset of. So we know what a team is. Denise and Mark know what a team is for AWA. They can name their team whatever they want, and it just rotates around.
Okay.
Like how can everybody have as much unique diversity as possible while at the same time overcoming boundaries or obstacles of the common united functions and goals? How do we do these things? What's our common foundation that we can all reference to?
It's only letting me view the team organizational and the Soul Spark game board anymore, but I did send you a link for the Soul Spark game board. Anyway, this is then now becoming one of those bottlenecks that we have going forward with using a Miro board, and that's why we're looking at expanding it out into a better format.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys' time and explanation for sure. I appreciate that.
So are you able to see that board and look at it?
I have it actually still screen shared. I'm looking at this Soul Spark Playground 1 and skills and the whole thing. Are you talking about that one?
Yes.
So we're definitely making strides to support those different methods of thinking and interpreting.
Yep. Everything has a story. Is like, right? The structure has a path, has a way, and then it's like, how do you present the story, right? It can be done like that. It can be done into a like animation explanation clip, 3 minutes, video clip. It can be done in so many different ways.
That's the idea. Embrace the diversity and spark ideas to be run with.
Nice, beautiful, cool. So yeah. So I haven't seen, I've been looking a little bit at the finances stuff. But what is the first phase of funding that is needed for this game to be, implemented or started? What's phase number 1?
$60,000.
16?
60.
660.
Yes.
And so, and with that you have platform and application started, but just like beta, or can you guys give me a little bit of a roadmap for that coming together?
That's to aim towards a caravan process meeting at an event or small events along the way to one large one, like Vortex Domes, an IMAX type theater experience that's immersive.
Right.
And what it is right now is we're working on several different platforms to get this integrated, that we need some funding for. It's all about bringing those pieces together and then starting to set up the ripple that's going to bring in that regenerative funding.
Yes, and for that, you it's done through a personal meeting with those guys who are doing it either way privately, and then it requires also a little presentation for their finance team. And that's why I'm saying it's like, if we present the overall vision, then it needs to have different components that are fitting together and painting that picture and put into a separate presentation again.
Exactly.
That is not
That's what we've been building towards.
Yeah. And besides of that, right, there are many programs that just needs to have it documented, and we can send it out to all of those guys. Like I can get an immigrant grant, big time, and don't even have to pay anything back for a I don't know, 3 years or something like that.
Right.
And that's what that's what I will also apply. And I'm in the process of all of that, but now I'm just getting into that detail of like getting the numbers right, getting the numbers right, how much it really costs, who's like really involved, right? Like it's yeah, because with the money, as soon as the money comes in, everything that we talk in theory comes into action, and then it's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother operation.
I'm going to share with you the document that is for this funding request. Or you can even look in Telegram. I know I posted it in our Telegram chat if you want.
Which one?
So it should be Soul Spark Caravan. There, that one right there. With the, yeah.
This one?
Yes.
To raise funds to launch the caravan this summer in July, putting it. Okay. I like so where does the money go, the 60,000?
Go. So it should be detailed right there.
It'll be another hyperlink.
The financial plan?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. So that's basically for you guys to keep going.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now we're talking. So
Yeah.
and okay, great.
Yes. And once you get down to a hyperlink saying roadmap, it'll bring you to a format
higher.
with a sample of a summarized project portfolio to build out.
So it's up higher in the document. Roadmap, there it is.
And that link brings you to the website that we're using as that sample. You should check that out.
So who are these people?
It's one we came across. It's very similar to the organization that Ingram Meta that we work with has. Scroll down and you'll see the examples that we're referencing there. Keep going. Here, like where they've got the header, the description, people involved, what the project's about, and how it cross correlates to specific SDGs.
This one?
Any of them.
those.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're just
Oh,
looking
no.
at the format and how it can be visually
Got it,
appealing,
got it, got it,
concise,
got it.
and give you a lot of information all at the same time.
Got it now, got it now.
And then showing how they can connect is a part of what we want to develop. So this is all about having the proper tools, which right now we're at a handicap with because of our technology being so outdated and the CPU capacity being so low. And this is where we're heading with the layout for part of our program, which would be a donation and funding pathway option, and how that then correlates with collaboration efforts between the different organization structures. And this is something that we also shared with Denise, and she was really interested and excited to be involved in this creation process as well.
Okay.
So
Okay,
for
nice.
quick entry into projects, like you were talking about, how a lot of these organizations are wanting to come together, they're trying to figure out what types of teams and what are the projects in a quick way that they can meet up. And so we're thinking, okay, if we can implement like the golden rule along with the first principles off the bat to help vet them, they're obligated to that and how to proceed essentially forward, including all the conflict resolution and everything in a nutshell. And then they can go to this, which could be an optimal, like a home screen opt-in home menu between the different SDGs like we were talking about a little bit earlier. So like knowing about the project or the objective focus before you know anything or care much about anybody's name, the organization, funding, all about like what's the spirit of intent, and pulling the people that have that as their primary focus, getting them focused into it or attracted to that project.
It's also about being able to show the metrics or progress of a specific organization or entity that might be showed in the screen, so it'd be like how far with what funding, how much more funding is needed, like how does this and what's the level of impact in the community, what's the level of engagement within a community, those kind of things that we're looking at as well, because then it offers your investor or philanthropic funder to identify what's really going to be the best bang for their buck. Because what is in it for them? Well, it could be a number of things, but most likely it's what's going to benefit them, whether it's personally, emotionally, or financially. What's going to be the most secure path of progress. So this is what we want to do, is provide that structuring, showing that there's not only that, but also the backlinks. So if one organization has problems in a legal issue because they don't have legal representation adequate for their services, they might be able to connect with another organization that actually does. And so sharing those resources can benefit both of them.
I see.
It adds to the ability to stack teams too. If there are 5 organizations, for example, and they all repeat the same process of having an HR department or team, there's no reason for them to be operating separately with less bandwidth or capabilities or resources. They might as well stack them. As long as they have a consensus of how they're going to operate, you could turn that 5 times 5 all separate into 25 people, better working each segment within each of that department.
This has been our operating costs for the past year and a half, and we've been using, just shoestringing it together, basically. And the second spreadsheet you looked at is our full build out. That would be including property and R&D space.
Nice.
So for example, at each one of the villages or intentional communities that you're a part of, say on your caravan, if they are all striving to have an R&D department, by them sharing resources, they get a lot more out of it.
Right.
Just by not being in a silo and just having that base common first principles approach and how to coordinate.
All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm taking it all in. I'm getting
Take your time.
clear.
That pick on the upper right-hand corner in black is our originally conceived home screen that kind of blends between the movie War Games and current technology. So how might we interoperate these things in a gamified way that you can interact with different organizations based on the project?
Right. Nice. Okay.
So there's a link to one of the stories that I wrote, Quantum Quinn and the Night Mirror. That's one way we're looking at gamifying, not the only one, as you see there. There's a couple of different ways of looking at it, but building these stories so people can engage and even take on autonomous profiles, and you don't have to see them as who they think they are, but as who they want to be, who they're aspiring to become.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I wanted to share something before. Mm. It's something that I wrote like a year ago or something, but I was just reminding me about it because I was reading something. Because it's all about playground. So like the love VR game of a peaceful warrior, because I believe we are all peaceful warriors. Uh, Start a journey for character. The person you based on the values of your higher self. Um, in the digital world, we collect coins for incentives and challenges to grow and live the vision. They receive tokens which they can exchange in the playground platform. Uh, Even attending holographic events will be possible later in the launch. So there is like a thing of like my body Dan Mapes. You gonna know him? Do you guys know him?
Who?
Dan Mapes.
I don't know him. No.
Okay, so he has this thing here. Um, that's him.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like it's like the same thing. Like, you know, it's like your holochain and like decentralized network, then your internet, and he's doing like the same thing with the spatial web.
Nice. And it's Deloitte.
So anyway, why I mentioned him is because yeah, because he was saying he's working on some holographic technology and like that can be implemented in like, you know, websites and just some like Iron Man type of style where you start seeing holograms and coming out from the computer. Like, and then with my guy Richard, who wants to create these crystal phones and crystal computers, that's where it's going like long term with the people that we talk about. And so it's a beautiful stepping stone into that world, this documentation and the gamified world, because I was writing here about it a year ago. And
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we have, then you can ask for help from a path advisor, because we, like I call the team people in the movement, not coach or mentor. I call them path advisor. They are the ones who are guiding the, like, that is guiding you what you need in your process of cleansing your body, cleaning your, so that's like the advisor when you come into the game, right?
Right.
That's how and then there are lifestyle products that helps you in the physical life that you can receive through playing in the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Workshop retreats. Everybody's.
We're targeting to do that through the Community for Community project, where like driving traffic and flow between the local community from like one
exactly
to another that are all partnered. Like, hey, Lids has this great stuff that they want to support teams and, you know, this core aspect of life or type of quality of life. They want to get into the street area,
nice.
like on the other side of the tracks. How can we have a positive influence? We had a great number of meetings with them over here in the local area before the lockdown happened, and that fizzled.
Right.
But just expanding that whole thing where like your local pizza joint might help support your local softball and volleyball teams, stuff like that.
Right. So yeah, so we keep it locally. So what about this part? Like storing data, because it's like a thing of I always envisioned like that we are able to store data how crystals or stones are storing information, and everything is information. So there is, right, like the cloud is just like a concept where people make money out of it, but energy is free, and then storage should be and is unlimited. And I'm talking to Richard, to my friend, that he's, kind of like creating an own cloud, in the sense where it's free for everyone. So where he's just the access to that infinite storage. And then with even what people don't like, but because look, it's a whole thing like that. I could now go on about 5G and 5D, and how it's the same thing, just like different interpreted through scientific approach or spiritual approach, and it's all just the same thing, the energy. And when you vibrate higher, nothing affects you, and all the low vibrational dense beings, they're just, that's why COVID was a blessing. So just getting that as an underline of where I am at with things. We will get into such a even instant information even quicker. And for me, it's important that we can store our unlimited data by ourselves, right? And that's something that I think should be definitely integrated within the game of like everything that you experience, you store your own data, and it's
That's
unlimited and
definitely in
free.
the road path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Atlantean records or Great Hall of Alexandria.
Yep. Absolutely.
Or the Akashic School of Records,
Yeah.
coming in.
What's the
And
common
they-
pearl of wisdom with all the pearls of wisdom and golden nuggets?
Yep. Exactly. And now check out this. I think I sent you that link in the group. And this is actually a friend of mine, and I think, because that's already basically similar to it. It's like he's doing Ascendant VR and gamified, blah blah, Extended XR, and
Right.
and he is for me like my Atlantean lion brother, and where he represents more like the technology Atlantean part, and I represent more the Lemurian like meditation spiritual type of part. And I feel that those two games, because he's just in a space where of course he wants to collaborate and he speaks the same language and all this stuff, but it's still, it seems like it has to go his way. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't. It's just I have this thing where I know we will be meeting. It's like think about this. Like the world is still a little bit separated as an overall perspective. Not even a little bit, but it's like even like vaccine, non-vaccine, and all this shit. And then also the ones who actually agree upon the same vision for the earth, they're also split. So it's like it's a
Right.
double split. It's like over the worlds who are in the matrix, the ones who are getting out of the matrix, and then the ones who are getting out of the matrix are still separated because they're doing their own thing. So
and what level of aptitude or experience are they at? Like how much have their eyes been opened to what's really going on in their path? Are they still growing? Are
Right.
they a late bloomer? Are they fully awakened, like close to a
Right.
master or something like that sees
Right.
the broad landscape? Yeah.
Right. So it's like layers of consciousness awakening, right? We can just get even more clear and more embodied. But it's just because I get it. That's where it goes anyway. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, we're exploring. As we become connected. Yeah, and to have it like super gamified, it's like all these retreat centers. I had the vision of calling it in the game like the Temple of Lights, where you go to those different retreat centers and you collect some, you know, energies or whatever you collect, and then you upgrade your avatar, right? And then Harmony, I put like the name of the self-sustainable land community, and they're going to be locally. So, and with the Light Body Love app, the intention was like an Airbnb for all the community spaces, right? So where people always know where something is going on with events in it. So it becomes just like the whole movement are just one circle and people just come in and it becomes bigger, right? So that's also something that I have my guy Richard writing the specification for the application already and for the platform, because he's a software architect and he's very, very powerful. And then with him to get that going, that's why it's a interesting critical point now to take decisions on who I'm really collaborating with, because you know, like I collaborate with so many, and then like I'm still within collaboration, but who do you really collaborate with? Like, right, like where is the point where you actually the actual real collaboration starts, right? And it's like, okay, there's a trust thing happening at the beginning. We know we're gonna work together. We figure out how, and then we're actually working, right? It's like this pre-phase, and where I don't know, it's yeah.
What about visualizing smart contracts?
Visualizing smart contracts.
Yeah,
Sure.
like a kind of like a decision tree.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
They're all segmented. Each segment from where one node ties to another for decision, A or B or whatever, it's just selectable. And it could be highlighted as this the next step, kind of like a progression chart or flow chart, and just do
Right.
it visually as like stick and ball, aiming towards like a neurological map.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Can you think of any reason why that would be a bad thing to try to implement in branding, like seals of approval? There's basically just a progress bar, right?
Yeah.
That could be attached to or displayed by any platform as the consolidated or federated platform essentially rotates according to however anybody's using it.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's great.
Like a portable platform. It could be linked up and attached to their site, yet the larger one is kind of floating. Like, talk about traffic. Anybody that's collaborating, all their traffic gets the theming or lens style that the organization is targeting, yet they still have direct access to the commons database
Okay.
and the platform being shared by everybody else contributing. It's kind of like if we took YouTube, white labeled it, opened it up for everybody, and used the same features in both directions, like bidirectionally or omnidirectionally with all the channels, as well as down the line with different.
That has to be the way. Look, that has to be the way, actually. So watch this. For example, Zeke said that he's finishing with Denise the white paper and they're ready to present it today or tomorrow, whatever. So I'm very curious about that one too. And then after we're gonna look at that, I think I feel like it has to be done that way, where we all agree upon the overall game and vision, how it's going to look like. We're all building on it and keep building on it until we all say, okay, that's it, that's perfect. And then we just keep it white, like a white paper, and then each one of us can put their brand, on it, on the same plan. And then whoever gets basically the funding, that's already the first gamifying thing. Whoever gets the first funding, the bigger one, where everybody's happy, because as soon as I don't receive a phone call and somebody says, hey Mark, for all your work and for everything that you want to do with Light Body and all your part. So every leader has to feel super happy with if it's, for example, this other guy, Ascendion, what I was saying, Ascendant. If he's calling me and saying, Mark, we got the big money, we got the $1 billion, and it's not about the money, but it's about, with the money we can create together that vision, and each one of us is honored. I'm down. I don't care what the name is, like, in that sense.
Right.
But so it's like, let's just create this, again, this like paper that is blank and is for everyone, free and like open source, right? And then everybody can put their branding in, and if somebody got the money and everybody feels acknowledged, then then there is one winner. But with one winner, everybody wins. So it doesn't matter who's winning, who is the one who's bringing the money, because everybody's getting anyone the same thing as they would get the money. That has to be the protocol. It's like because how do you do that with the equity shares, or like with the exchange thing? Like we have to go to the decentralizing stuff and have different ways of exchange, right? And I have 10 different matrices for that. Different ways of exchange right now on a document, 10 different ways of exchange. And if every contribution you of course, right, it's supporting the earth, then you get it back with tokens, and then you upgrade your life, right? So
like take authorship, contribution, platforms and designs, merge that with GitHub, and then add incentivization to it. Like, so all contributors and authors get their credit for any time they contribute. That can tie directly over into time banks and all that resource management stuff, all the way over to services. Like it's all basic stuff. We just need to tie together.
Totally. And if everybody still has, again, the same plan, the same business plan, the same white paper, and the same different exchange models, and we still have 1,000 different names, and each one of their name has their own token and has an exchange system, so that the token can be exchanged within themselves, that supports the overall vision and white paper that we create, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's along the same lines as backlinking in bidirectional and then expanding ways, like into omnidirectional stuff.
Right. So okay. Yeah, then it's a very, very, very interesting time to look at the stuff that Zeke and Denise have. If they have a different approach on that matter, I'm open. If not, then I think we're coming to the end line of like, hey, that's the overall plan, vision that we all received together. And yeah, so okay, good, all right.
Awesomeness.
I think
let's go at everybody's pace and just be decisive about it. Like, okay, here's a time window. Everybody that wants to be involved in this stage right now.
Exactly. Yes. That's it.
They'll develop this and this and this, like opening doors to funding. If you want to be on a presentation available for funding, to capture that, you need to have a project built out from segment A, B, C.
Totally. I want to put where I'm at. So I want to put my stuff with your stuff together. That's where I'm at, and have put the focus in whatever way of how it has to look like, the documentation part. For example, I have here something where I will, where is that? Just really quick, where, so that's, for example, a protocol where I know people who've been following that and receiving funds.
Right.
Okay, and it's just a frame, right? And
Yeah.
following a frame or a model that we know works is the way to do it. And to put it's like easy, it's like market needs, target market, like business plan type of like, but in such a format where the ones who are pulling the trigger for that funds are just like, oh yeah, that's a legit project, because it looks like the 3D projects, but it's not.
Right.
If it makes sense.
Yeah. How
Right.
how
Because
stable and structurized is a project, and looking at all other kinds of factors that help reinforce the baseline of like the ultimate objectives. What
Right.
is the main common thread that is mandatory to be held through all the way from start to finish and beyond?
Exactly. And to have it really nailed down where we know what the next 4 or 5 years will look like. We know it. And if changes are coming, we know how to navigate that boat, so that we are still in our highest sacred timeline, even if it looks different after a year. We're still on the same timeline. So that's a whole nother flow that's going, that I'm living. I am on that flow. We are on the flow. That's where we talk with each other. And so yeah.
Well, let's see how we can do that. Did you, if you can look over the CFA that I shared that is with Zeke, we can mod it from there for us doing a collaboration.
So
With your stuff.
watch this. Okay, where is that? Give me here a few seconds.
DWA/CFA.
Because I want to open up 2 CFAs at the same time.
I would make us a copy for us to be able to, well, there are 2 ways to go about it. Since Zeke is a part of this, we should probably all get together, you, Zeke, Denise, and T, and go over the CFA that Zeke and we put together a couple months ago and see if we can modify it, because we're all involved in this process. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah. So okay, I have now both CFAs open. I just want to screen share one more time, because do you guys see my screen?
Yep.
That's
Okay.
it.
So that's it. I've been looking at it a little bit. I like this purpose. I have here. No, that's you guys. There. Because the CFA is from Ray, like not from, like he did that. Ray, you guys know Ray?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were the
so
first ones on his portfolio, apparently. That's what he
Okay,
was
so-
telling us. We never heard anything back, and then we heard about fizzles. But yes, this is absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Doing side by side comparisons is a really, really effective way of just bulldozing right through this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're tying in, and basically we have missions to just put together, because I believe your missions are the same that I have, basically, because I believe because you guys are me, I'm you. So it's like we just merge the purposes, the actual steps together, and then we just write it all down, and these are accountabilities, and then we define all the players that are already now network and say, hey, these are all the stuff that needs to get done. Who wants to do it? Who wants to do it? Who is in with me, with us?
Yep.
And then everybody's. So I want to get to that point latest by Saturday, because I have a mushroom ceremony leading in Topanga in California on Saturday, and with some of our team members. If you guys are around, please, would be awesome. But yeah, I don't know
Take
how.
6 hours drive from here. I used to live in Topanga Canyon. It's down
Nice.
past LA there, right?
So yeah, anyway, so because until Saturday, because on Saturday we are going kind of like Saturday, Sunday, like because we have the thing on Saturday, we go to another level a little bit. So it's like it's level up in the game on like for
Nice.
yeah. And then it's like, okay, then it's time to put the missions, as I said, accountabilities together and say, hey, that's what needs to get done. And we all are part of it, and we are a one team. And let's just merge the teams, the players, put them all together and say, okay, we have our own ecosystem, we are building it. That's not future, it's here now.
Right.
And with that work, we build at the same time the platform, and then merge like that. So anyway, so okay, here within. So I put here, for example, already like, okay, to produce the Golden Age Caravan live stream, hangouts with celebrities, events, demonstration of ancient synchronized practices with holistic healings methods, breathing series. So we have here a bunch of products that are supporting to get even people to know that we have something like a platform.
Right.
And that's right here, like the Build Life Body Love Lifestyle app provides content, events, products, and communities. Where is that here? You guys have that here in specific?
It's somewhere in there. It's been quite a while since we looked at it.
Okay. Yeah, council. And then I have here this different way of mission matrix currencies, public vision sharing equity currency. We can name them all, of course, differently, but like public vision, media, artistic, health and wellness, computer coding, technical consulting, general contribution. Or then there can be like farming, it's like whatever, like I think Aurora said, Denise, that she wants to go with me through those matrices. I don't know if you guys have done exchange matrices or different ways of contributing.
If you look there in our mission metrics, it shows we have mission metrics, currencies, and so those are broken down into different types of metrics we're using for personal, like what GWA provides. And then there are quest and mission metrics, which are another type of metrics, which would be based on their level of engagement. And then we have the individual quest emissions and the team quest emissions, and then the superpowers, and then going on into collaboration metrics and how those can be identified and quantified. So yours is like an expanded by specific area of focus, and ours is more expanded by specific formats of engagement. So I mean, they mirror each other in different ways.
Okay. Yeah, accountability. Like technical specification for Lyra Love, development of the app. Operations. Yeah, because we were like super deep on the production already. Like and then you know, Ray was just like, I'm out. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we kind of experienced similar statements with him, but we were able to get this completed to the level it is. We just haven't been able to get the jurisdictional dispute resolutions section filled out. Have you?
Yeah, but that's not the big deal. It's yeah, I could even copy that, and like I can even go through that process. I know how to do it because I've been hanging out with him and doing it the whole time. And so I know exactly how to do a CFA and the whole process. But that's why it's like, yeah, so that's what we have here. And then it's just basically the way how you just communicate with each other when it comes to a resolution. And the funny part is we put that together, but then he was going out of it and he was not doing what we agreed on. So it's like,
Yeah.
we do an agreement with him that he put together, but he's not holding his own agreements, but he's not even seeing that. So that's like the whole loop.
That's why we wrote up the legalese the way that we did to account for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It ended off with no contact received from Jay after we tried contacting him a few times. He even created a Facebook group just for that. I'm like, we were very confused by that.
Mm.
If we're just doing a one-on-one with you, why do we need a group? We have a messenger group chat that is going to work just fine.
Right.
Zoom calls and all that. But yeah, we didn't hear from him.
Yeah, I would like to have basically what you guys put together. In my way of seeing it, is just as including you guys' personal budget, what you guys need, the phase one, the 60,000 into even my fund portal, and then implementing the game, what would be phase 2 or 3 for the Library Love app, to integrate that game and the whole idea and the whole work into that application for now. If something else comes together, again, I'm open.
Yeah. Whichever way, we're trying to be as open as possible, still providing services and being able to work within and alongside others in this process, because there are many ways that we want to be able to see this happen, knowing what we know about humans and how autonomous and individual they want to be but aren't, and how it's that's going to give them the opportunity and flexibility to grow the way they want to grow.
Right. True. Yep.
And I'm fixing this because it's not a CFO or CEO, it's founder and founder. Ah!
Cool.
Always have to make sure we update things. There. So if you want to share that your CFA that you created so that we can put them side by side and see how to correlate them, I think that might be a good way to go.
I think so too, to put the, as I was saying, the missions together, and
Group by header.
yep. Where is mine here?
I'm fond of doing it on a separate sheet. So that would be 3 sheets, the 2 originals from each portal or side, your side, our side.
Yep.
And the merge would be the 3rd, where we
And
just
then
copy and paste each of them that correlate.
Exactly, and then we just use that 3rd one for all the others who are plugging in.
Yeah, and that would be the space to merge them, and we could like do initials or logos or whatever.
Exactly, and then we put exactly around the whole document, just like these logos and that everybody who's in there.
Actually, should be both.
Sorry?
I'm gonna title it Combined.
That'll work well in other projects too, like the summarized project portfolio. Kind of aiming for that kind of a format. It's got basically a lot of what's already in there, as well as the contractual side. So we've got that connection between.
Right.
Do you like that?
Yep, because that's perfect, because I send mine now into the chat.
Logo, names,
Yeah.
title, and organization. Just to start, that would be killer.
All right. So I'm gonna add you to this duplicate document. Mark. Gerard Pansis. Okay. You are an editor. Okay, so this will be the document that we merge those 2 together with.
Yep.
So it is called Combined GWA LPL CFA 63021.
Yes, and I'm also open to share this other stuff that can be. No, that's not it. Where is it?
Are you putting the link to yours in chat here on the Zoom?
Yeah,
That'll
I
be
put it in the Zoom.
Okay, I'm gonna get that up now.
And the shared one is
Combined.
Yeah. Did you already? Can you send that link to me in the chat too?
Yeah. Okay, so I've sent a request to your CFA, and now I'm going to get the other one linked. Okay. Are you able to pull it up now?
No, I didn't receive any email or link where we have to share one.
The link is in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Let me save that link because there are just I just tried to have everything organized for me. Link, copy that
Understand.
link. So where I know for me, good. Okay, that's good. So we have that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yep. I like that playground.
All right, now I'm requesting access on the computer instead of the phone, and maybe it'll come across for you. And I'm waiting for your request, but I don't think you should have one because I added your email address to that document.
Yeah, no, I can edit. Yeah, I can edit that.
Have you received an email from me for that request? It would be to greatworksalliance@gmail.com.
So, yep, done. So we have this one, we have the combined, we have that's good. Yes, we got.
All right, I got it.
Okay. Because I'm how it's here, how it yeah. Yeah, I think I would just I don't know, include you guys here.
Do you have a logo? That would be my first question.
Logo.
Some kind of a
What's the
visual
question?
representation.
I have just this writing logo. And we have one, but I'm not. It's like Apple. Like they changed the logo like 100 times, or not 100 times, but a couple of times. Really happy with the logo that I have. Send it to you. Let me send it right now. Or I can open it. Like
You could just put it into the combined GWA, LGL, LBL, CFA if you wanted to.
okay. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
Because it's still like too Vitruvian. Like I like it, but it's too Vitruvian man. Like I mean, I love the Vitruvian man. I don't know. For me, just there's just something about it. But that's what we would have so far, even like as a stamp, and to just leave the fonts like how it is for now, and having just that somewhere. It doesn't have to be always like in the middle. It's just like a stamp,
Yeah.
kind of like a stamp logo type of thing. Like, oh, you're activated, right? And then you get like this light body activation. Anyway, I can still like do that for me. And oh, anyway, what is that here?
Here's a distracting side note. The GWA logo is actually working for both Lyra and I right now. Usually they don't show at the same time. We've been having crazy glitches like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. So it's kind of cool seeing two Superman type logos in the panel.
Right.
I gotta fix these things. All right. Looking at your vision and matching it with our vision. Nate, what were you saying as far as that was concerned? You're muted. You're muted.
The link that was last shared in the chat for the Google document, I put that formula or format at the top header, just so it was there and it could get moved around to wherever. The bottom might actually be the best spot.
Which document are you? Oh, that format. Okay. Okay, get it. I think that should be at the top of the document. Maybe putting at the very top, this agreement is made between. And Mark, do you want to have your name and then the name of your organization there? So
Yep.
that would be. Did I spell that right? Please make sure.
I'm looking in a second.
Forgot the S there. I think I fixed it.
Okay, good.
Sorry. Do you want Mark the Truth as your name?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's keep it that way, because I mean, my full name is Lyra Starmiss Jubb, but I'm going to go by Lyra Starmiss from here on out. So.
Yay. Yep.
That just flows better, I think.
Lyra. Yep. Close pretty good.
I'll put these bullets here. How did you get them to be flush with the side name? Because they're not doing that for me.
I just copied and pasted directly under. I just pressed enter a couple times. It's the difference between desktop mode and mobile.
I guess. All right. So that can be taken. Do you have a website that we can add here, Mark?
Yeah. Yep. Just lightbody.love.
And then a logo can go on the top of the document, whatever you want to put on there as a marker. Like you were showing that one image that had like lightbody.love as the,
Mm-hmm.
so we could go with that.
Right.
Okay, Nate, what's our project links that we want to be adding in here?
Whatever we have in doc form, I guess. I think that's still on the to-do list.
Well, we do have the main list on our site there. I was thinking maybe I could just put a link to that because that has the quests, which include the kiosks and the Soul Spark game and stuff. But of course, I want your input, so that's why I'm putting it out there.
Lyra, the link to the spreadsheet for the governmental sectors that we've got, the Wheel of Co-Creation and SDGs is probably going to be the best one to use at the bottom of that I put in there.
Put in, you mean the summarize project? Please be more concise.
What?
Please be more concise. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to.
The summarize project portfolio blocks? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Where do you?
The spreadsheet.
I understand, but we're on
we have those listed.
confidential agreement right now. So the reason I'm asking is, okay, where and what link and can't you do this if you're on this too?
You need to stop cutting down so you can hear what I'm saying. Spreadsheet with multiple tabs, our primary that we've been sharing.
I know. Can you get the link and put it in there?
It's very.
Let me see if I can find it.
So I need to pick up here a phone call. I know I can just mute myself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Nate, if you would please come in, I'm gonna show to you what I have here, and you're gonna choose which spreadsheet you're talking about.
Hello, friends. Hello.
Hi, Marcia. I'm sorry. I had it muted because we were trying to find what it was, the spreadsheet that he's talking about. So we found it.
Good. I know what you're talking about with spreadsheets and finding and looking. That's bad.
We have over 20 that are our own, and then there are others that come in that people are sharing. So it becomes quite confusing. It'll be great when we can get it all sorted out.
You're right.
That's what he's talking about now. So we got this going on. Everything okay?
Yep.
Awesome.
111.
Yes, it is. I see that.
And now it just shifted. Boom.
All right.
Yeah. So all right. So we have that document together now. Right.
Right, and you
And
have
the-
access to it to add,
Yeah.
you know, and what I think Nate was talking about was like sectioning it off so each vision is there on the singular document. And
Yep.
we have it like there's the LBL vision and the Great Works Alliance vision. And so I can do that pretty simply.
Nice.
And then I'm going to add you to this document, which is a spreadsheet. It is the spreadsheet that shows there's multiple tabs in it. So it shows the correlation of the player metrics and how they can be identified through these different lenses, whether we're talking character strengths and virtues, chakras, pillars of ethics and universal laws of consciousness, or sectors of society, you know. And so we have these different measurements that we can correlate with each other. So even when one group has their own cryptocurrency exchange program that they're going through and operating in, how can we correlate it with another organization's cryptocurrency so they can do trade between the two organizations, even though they have their autonomous currency identifiers?
Right. Yep. I like it. Cool. Yeah, then let's just keep talking and exploring with that shared document. I'm really curious what Zeke and Aurora have to present with that white paper, because they said that everything is going to be included there. So maybe they got it figured out, and if not, then we're just gonna compare all our missions, put them together, and then, as I said before, we all do one big white paper, and then either way we have 1,000 names for the vision or one name. Doesn't really matter. Either way it will happen.
Do you have a breakout for any teams that you got?
Excuse me? If
Team.
I what?
Do you have a breakout or a spreadsheet for any teams?
For any teams?
Right.
What, like, for example, what?
Like how you're breaking out teams. It would be interesting to look at, you know, cross compare those.
Oh yeah. I have so many players that I need to organize still. Like I have them organized in my brain, but not on a sheet.
Okay.
And, so because yeah, when I figure out one thing, there are like 10 players coming in my awareness, and
right,
and it's definitely time to plug them in. So if you have a sheet for that, where we can put you also the people together who are sharing the same type of passion,
yeah,
right, into one category type of, or whatever they love enjoying at that moment.
Yeah. You looked at the Phoenix team breakout in the manual, correct?
Which one?
The Phoenix Fusion Forge and how they expand out and build off of each other.
Yeah, I think so.
That's like the base framework. And then we looked for generic constructs of teams, like the naming structure and what they might do in micro goals to go through their quest, their path, whether it's a task or something else.
Nice.
So I was wondering if you have something like that we can take,
no.
like tracing paper, and all right, what's there and what's not, what's mimicked and mirrored.
Yeah, I was just like putting some of my documentations into one Google Doc together, where it's basically understood in one link where you can go from there, if it makes sense, right? Like,
yeah.
And I think I will have it. I am almost done. Let me a little bit to work more, and then I would just share that link.
Okay, cool.
Because that would be the link that I would be using for that business plan, what I shared before. Yeah, and I would just keep do open source, open documentation.
I'm putting in a link for the team layout Miro board. And hopefully it will be available for everyone to look at when I get off of this other person's Miro board team.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got closer here for sure, and I'm really appreciating both of you. And let's just keep exploring that. And if there is a specific question coming in, please don't hesitate to ask. And
Cool. Hey, thank you for being you, Mark.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
Yay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's
You
keep
guys are
building
awesome
this team of elites spearheading a better
Yep.
world for tomorrow.
Yep. Every day. Every day. Send you both my love. Okay, peace out.
You have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll work on this and make it look like it's what we want, and then we can come back. How about we schedule a time at the end of the week to reconvene and review the collective foundational agreement?
Okay. Yeah, I can do. I actually would prefer doing Monday
Monday
because I
would
have
be fine.
I have the ceremony on Saturday, and then Sunday, who knows what will happen. And then Monday, I have a call with one of our investor friend, because he just sold his parts of his company called Green Roads, and it would be a good sponsor for the caravan because he has a
Awesome.
CBD company in Florida, and so we'll see. So maybe we can do it again around 11 or something.
We'll meet up
On
as
Monday.
quickly as we need to get things hammered out. We just need
Totally,
to
like
prioritize.
for a longer session like that, like today, I would say Monday 10 or 11. But if there's something immediate question, I'm available.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll let
Live
you
long
go.
and prosper, brother.
Yep.
Thank you. You guys too.
All
Okay,
right.
peace.
Bye.